Hi, my name is Amanda Robinson, and I am hoping to persuade you to try Nearpod. This is a digital tool that I use a lot in my classroom. It allows me to create some whole group interactive lessons that really improve my student engagement. I see real time student feedback as well as some pretty awesome formative assessments. What I'd like to do is show you what it looks like when we open. So here is Nearpod, the interface, and once I have logged in through whatever way I have set my account up, I am brought to my account. And as you can see, I have some stuff down here. But before I show you anything with that, let's take a look at the library. So the library is pretty extensive. It has things for every grade level and just about every subject. So you've got videos, activities, if you just need those things. Let's take a look at lessons though. So as you can see, most of the primary subjects have shown up here, but I also have by grade bands. And then I also have third party companies that have made some Nearpod lessons. So if you need to do like a social emotional learning lesson, you can use Calm, digital citizenship, you can use Common Sense Education. If you're in a reading and you need some news ELA, or you can even do some FET simulations, which I've used a lot in my classroom. ReadWorks is pretty good, especially if you're going to differentiate by LEC style. So that is the library. Let's take a look at a lesson. So this is a lesson that is for this student, which I'm going to show on the side. So over here, I have a lesson pulled up, and it is welcoming. And as you can see, as I move from screen to screen, the student sees that on their device as well. So if they're one-to-one, there's no more excuse about I can't see the board or anything like that. So most of the lessons that are pre-made in the library come with a materials list and a preparation guide. There's also a good essential question, so you know where that lesson is going, and then some basic objectives for what the lesson is. So I wanted to kind of show you what it looks like from both ends. So as a teacher, I could pull these up, but the student can view them individually themselves. Those are the slides. And then there are some close activities. So as I put this in, and I'm just putting anything in here, it's going to give me a real-time score as soon as the student hits done. Duh, of course I didn't get that right. All right, so once they've done that, it's given them some feedback as well as to how they were doing on that activity. Some other interactives are open-ended questions, which are awesome. So they would enter in here and hit submit. Now, you as a teacher on this end can also make this more anonymous and hide those students' names. Put this up on the board, and then we can all have a group discussion, right, based off of these answers. Or you could even share out that person's answer to the rest of the class. You can make it anonymous or not, okay? When you do that, you're opening them up to peer critiques, you're opening them up to sharing exemplars, even just a facilitating a classroom discussion is all there through these types of activities. Here they are able to use the Draw It tool, so they can write on top of this, add text, even insert a picture. And what I also really like about Nearpod is it's pretty much fully set up with Immersive Reader. So if I have anybody that has an activity that they're going to be doing on their own, it's going to read it to them and let them know. So if I have anybody with an IEP or anything like that. So let's say they hit submit. And now I can see all of the students' answers on this side as to who gets this and who doesn't get that. Provides me that immediate feedback as well. And then again, you can share. Another cool thing is that you can embed websites and videos in here. So there's no more going out of the program to get to it. It's all inclusive. So you would put up with, in this case, it's a research project. You would put up the websites that they need to use, and they would simply click on it to go to get to it. They wouldn't have to get out of the system to do that. There's also quiz questions, which I then can use to determine how my class is doing. Uh, So according to this, Amanda got 3 out of 3. Hey, I'm doing better. And then I can use this to determine, okay, so half my class or some of my class doesn't get this still, and we need to go into it further. Another cool thing is that you can automatically open up a whiteboard. So I can just start using the whiteboard right here. So if I'm at the computer or at a new line panel, which are really cool, or any other device that I'm using to display this, I can just pull that whiteboard up, start jotting down classroom notes or anything else that I might need them to copy down, or just brainstorming. You can also add an activity right then in the lesson. So that's pretty cool. And then they also have polls, which are nice to gauge how they felt about the lesson, give you a little bit more feedback. And then they're also reflecting upon what they learned. Some other features include using the Draw It tool to highlight. That's pretty cool. We've got some critical thinking going on there. And then if you create a Nearpod from scratch, you have a lot of opportunities to, or I should say a lot of options. You have different types of content and different types of activities that you can embed into the lesson. And let me get to that in a second. So here are some other features. We're going to preview this one. So here I've got a VR, so I can enter VR, put those on. Or if their students don't have VR, they're still capable of moving it around and looking at a little virtual field trip. So imagine how awesome this would be for geography classes, social studies, some kind of study. If you've got a place in a novel, you can use that. Another pretty cool feature is 3D models. So what? That's nuts. And something else I like to use is Flipgrid within it. What? We don't have to get out of this to get in the Flipgrid either? No. You just have them log in right from the screen when it's on their device, and they can access the Flipgrid that you've made. One last feature before I get into quickly creating one is Time to Climb. Time to Climb is their gamification within Nearpod. So this could act as a formative assessment, or it's just a review, or it's just for play. So I'm going to pull up one over here to show you what that looks like. There we go. So on the left is a teacher, on the right is a student, and I'm going to be a bear. I'm ready. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm there, and I know there's two Amandas. That's a little weird, but this is me, and this is also me as a student. So I'm going to hit start on the teacher side, and the students are going to play the game. So they're going to have questions. They're going to move on. I got that one right. And there's usually a time set up for it, for how quickly they can answer. I can do it. I can do it. Democratic. All right. So enough of that. That was fun though. So in Nearpod, other than using their awesome pre-made library of lessons, you could create. So I go to create here. I have an option of doing a lesson, just a video with built-in questions, kind of like Edpuzzle, or an activity that is usually some type of popular activity that they already have. Um, I'm going to just make a quick lesson, or just at least show you the options. So once I get into this lesson, I have all of this room to add and put in as many slides or activities or content that I want. If I click here, these are those options I have for content. I can put a PhET simulation right in there so they don't have to get out of the website. It's in there, it's all in one place. Like we said before, a website, even a video, whether I've done a screencast or a YouTube video. Some activities, this is where you can create a time to climb and put it directly into the lesson. Some other notables are matching pairs, so if you have vocabulary or even expressions and their value. Memory test, collaborative boards. This is kind of like a Padlet feature for what Nearpod has. So I hope that you have enjoyed this presentation on Nearpod, and I hope that you explore it some more and decide if it's right for you in your classroom. I know that I really enjoy it, and I have used it in every subject that I teach, including art. I've even used it for art lessons. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me, and let me know if you have any questions about Nearpod, and I will try to answer them for you.